time this has happened to me today is I go right before a complete and total flippin' rock star. Okay, I don't thank you, Casey, for such amazing placement. But this guy, you talk about a business-minded person. You talk about somebody that's going to get it done. You talk about somebody that knows how to run through walls. You talk about somebody that knows what the hell he is doing. This is Brian Penso. Put your ears on. Get ready to take some notes because this is going to be good.
All right. I'm going to go through this quick because I'm a little short on time. I'm a professional angler and business builder. I've been doing it my entire life. All I've done, self-employed for the last 30 years. I've had a job. I like it that way. But what I was going to talk to you about is, are there any politically correct police in the room? Oh, good. We got one. You ain't going to like this. You might want to step outside. Brutally honest people in this room, raise your hand. Okay, we got a couple. If you saw me in a restaurant or a convenience store, now let me paint a picture for you. This is not how I normally dress. I'm actually usually in a tank top, wife beater, tattoos in the front, tattoos in the back, down both arms, plus long hair. So that is not politically correct, but I don't really care. So how many people, if you saw me in a place, would actually come up and talk to me? Raise your hand. Come up or... Okay, we got a few. The rest of you are saying, I don't know what trailer park this guy crawled out of. I surely wouldn't go and talk to him. Your past beliefs and training is what's keeping you down. Stay away from long-haired people with tattoos. You know, they drink a lot and they beat their wives and their kids. Okay, that's what people have been told for a long time. They're mostly trash. I've heard this all my life. By you not coming up and talking to me, you would not have a sapphire in your organization. Big financial mistake. Now, let's put that in perspective. What I'm going to talk about is fishing in a different pond. Being a professional angler, I would look at this lake and say, you know, there might be a few in there. I'm going to take a couple casts in there and I'm going to move on. A lot of you keep casting in this pond over and over and over. You're limiting your opportunity for success to catch a fish in a very small pond. It's because you have preconceived notions. Oh, I would never talk to that guy. He makes like $1 bajillion. Why would he want to do this? Those are the people you want to contact. Casey knew me for a long time. Casey knew that I have multiple companies. I don't like working at all. Monday mornings, I don't mind Monday mornings, or Tuesdays, or Wednesdays, or Thursdays, Fridays, or Saturdays, or Sundays, because if I want to get out of bed, I get out of bed. If I don't want to get out of bed, I don't get out of bed. Or I'll get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go fishing because I don't have to go to work. I have people that make my money for me. If they get into a problem, yes, they can give me a call and I will pick up the phone. Passive income. Was it always like that? No. I had to go through a lot of dead ponds to find my clientele in my biggest company that's in Houston. But my clientele runs from the East Coast to the West Coast. I am literally known in my industry from coast to coast. I didn't do it overnight. Just like she's saying, the larvae to the cocoon and all of that, it takes time. Now, there are probably 300 distributors within a 50-mile radius of where we're at right now. And they're not here. Why? They don't have a why. They're satisfied sitting on the nail and dealing with a miserable job, traffic. I had to go down 610 one day to a business presentation I had to go to or a meeting, and I even took a picture of it and put it on local. It's like, how do y'all do this every day? I said, you have lost your mind. It's like brainwashing. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna go to a pretty pond. So drop the preconceived notions and the conditioning. I just finished my book. I'm just gonna touch on it real quick. I just finished my book. It should be released and printed by the end of April or the 1st of May. And it has a lot in there to do with the scenario that I'm talking about. People's conditioning starts at about 2 to 3 years old. They start coloring in a book, and I mean, it looks like something out of a horror flick, but they take it to mom and they say, oh, that's beautiful. Uncle Larry, oh, that's nice. Can you make me another one? Everything's fine. I mean, it looks like something like Death Warmed Over. But take it and speed it up 12 or 14 months. Now you're getting ridiculed because your crayon marks are not inside the lines. You gotta put your name up on top. The conditioning starts at a very early age, and you carry that shit with you all the way up. Your problems today did not come from today, last week, or last year. Your problems that you have today and your inability or unwillingness to build this business is not from that. It's what you were taught. Long hair, tattoos, enemy. Stay away. They're bad people. So your thoughts that you have been dealing with, that has created your life up to this point in time, you have to look at that. Why is it that you think the way you are thinking? Question yourself. Make yourself stop and think, why did I just do that? Why did I say, I'm not going to go talk to that guy? And look at it. You'll find an answer. And when you find the answer, look at it for what it's really worth. Did somebody who was an armchair expert that didn't have squat, had no history, no nothing, give you some false information at a time that you were easily manipulated, and you took it as the golden rule? Chances are, it may have been their golden rule, but they're broke. This is the most powerful computer in the planet. When you keep putting garbage in it, you're going to keep getting garbage out of it. So what I mean by fishing in a different pond, I had the privilege of taking Casey fishing the other day. It's the first time we'd ever been in a boat together. I think it was probably a little bit of an experience for Casey. It's like, okay, the boat goes pretty fast, you know, all this crazy stuff and computers and, you know, antennas and all that stuff. But we're out there fishing. I'm going to take you real quick through this. And we're going down a bank. He's caught a couple. And I raised a very large female bass that was on a bed. This is their spawning time. And this thing looked like a nuclear sub. To me, I just found the golden goose. To Casey, I'm saying, oh my God. And I reached down and hit my trolling motor. It's the motor I moved my boat around with. And I back up slowly because she came up just in front of me. I saw her playing stick. I said, I can catch this fish. I worked on that fish for a total of a little over 2 hours.
Wow.
I worked on it while Casey was sitting there watching. He was just waiting for it. Yeah, but that, you know, I got her to bite one time, but I kept having to change my approach to her. Because when they're on a bed, you don't know what they want. I can assume that this fish wants X, and I can keep throwing it and throwing it and throwing it, and she's just going, yep, been there, I saw that, saw it a couple of minutes ago. It's not what they're looking for. I probably threw 20 different baits on this fish. And I'm not done yet. I took him back to the boat ramp, dropped him off to go do a meeting. What do? Straight back to that fish. And worked on her for another 45 minutes to an hour. Because I know that that fish is locked in an area. She's not going to leave. That's her house. Just like you're not going to leave your house. So I can assume, Like you guys can assume a potential business partner and say, you know, I've seen his car. He's got like 3 ball tires. I can actually see the air on the inside of him. So apparently, this guy is broke off his wazoo and he needs to make a bunch of money. That's what you can assume. But for him, it's not about the tires. He's been so concerned helping his mother because she's got some health issues, and he's been helping her out with her rent and medications, that he's got the money, but the tires are not important to him. So quit putting the cart in front of the horse, thinking that y'all know everything about this individual and what is best for them. You got to draw the line in there. It goes back, I was at a lecture one time, and a guy walks into an emergency room, and he's got blood running out of his arm, he's got a big gash on him, he's been stabbed. And he walks up to the technician and says, do you have any aspirin? I've got a headache. The assumption is the guy needs stitched up because he's got blood running all over the floor. His universe, the knife cut was not as important as his headache. So, you know, when you assume, you guys can do the math, politically correctness makes an ass out of you and me. So stop it. Ask the questions. Change the lures. Fish in a different pond. I've got distributors that have been in shortly after I got in. They have a tremendous amount of money running through their organization. I know because I built it along with Casey. But will do nothing. And bitch and complain because they gotta go to work. After I set them up to get out of a job. Hey baby, I don't have to go to work today. I know it's a bear for you to go to work, but would you just stop complaining about it? Because if you were really that upset about it, you'd get off the nail and do something. So, you know, being comfortable with people, it's like, you know, I'm going to get that check in a week or two. It's like, you know, I've gone through everybody. I don't know anybody else. There was actually a gentleman that was sitting in this room. He had to get up. He had a family emergency that he had to go take care of. Picture this. You're in a small veterinarian clinic. Guy walks in, he's holding this little basket. Wife beater, covered in tattoos. I think I had a bandana on that day. And I'm sitting there with my cat. She's 19 years old. She was having some issues. Mr. Bert Vickers is sitting 2 seats down. He looks at me, checks me out. And then there was a young lady there that came in, and she had a small child. So I gave up my seat so this lady could sit down. And he observed that. Bert started talking to me. Guy's never met me before in his life. 30 minutes later, he says, man, he said, I want to talk to you. I said, here's my card. He calls me 30 minutes later. We had lunch the following day. I did not pursue him. He pursued me because he was looking for something. He's looking for financial freedom. He's looking to be able to, you know, do different things, have more vacations, have more fun. So there are the unicorns, the oddities that will come to you, curiosity. He said, I knew there was something unique about you when I saw you get up and give your chair away to the young lady with her kid. I said, well, that's just the way I was raised. He didn't see the long hair and the tattoos. He didn't see any of that. So him fishing in a different pond. And what I mean by, I want to make sure you understand this concept. You guys can keep chasing these people that you're chasing. For those of you that are chasing, all you're going to do is get tired. Mm-hmm. And the faster you chase them, the faster they run. I'm serious. It's like money. Chase money. You'll never have it. I don't care what it is. Picture this. We've all been at that 16, 17 years old at some point in time, every one of us. You know, biological clock starts to tick and thinking about a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So you're out asking anybody that will hold still long enough for you to ask them out. And they all tell you no. No, get away from me. Because you're chasing it. The time, I know everyone in this room is going to relate to this. You stop chasing. You're sitting there minding your own business. And some sweet little thing comes walking by. Or some tall, dark, and handsome guy comes walking by. And you say, "Why you gotta be dark?" Short, light, and handsome. That was me. I'm sorry.
Jade races
With a lot of hair. Yeah, but you're not looking, and all of a sudden it just like appears. And then you have a relationship, and the relationship starts to grow. Now, all of the ones that you asked out before are standing in line trying to take you from the one that you're with. Am I not right? Every one of the people in this room has experienced that. The faster you chase something, the faster it runs. Quit the chasing. Start fishing in a different pond. Now, you say, well, you know, I'm never out, I don't ever meet anybody. Does anybody in here like model airplanes? Okay. I'll bet you there's an organization or 20 in this area that loves model airplanes. How many winos are there in here? Come on, be honest. How many drink wine? Yeah, see, I know you always lying. You didn't raise your hand. I don't drink wine, I drink whiskey. I drink very expensive whiskey. Now, the politically correctness was, oh God, don't tell them you drink, they'll think you're a loser. If you're a loser, you'll be a loser if you drink or you don't drink. That wasn't the point here. You drink wine. How many of you in here have ever heard of a group called Next Door? Okay. What if you started a wine group? That's what we did. I helped Mindy build an organization because she came down here from Ohio. She didn't know anybody. I helped her start a wine group. So they meet once a month at someone's house, and it kind of rotates through each one. What better way to meet people? Anybody here play euchre? Euchre. Poker. Okay. I'll bet you there's some organizations in this city. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think it's like 6.5 million or 8.5 million people now in this city. I'll bet you there are some poker players. When I started building my companies here in Houston in 1987, I was oblivious to all of this. This is stuff that I have had to learn through being coached by some very, very high-end people I was fortunate enough to get in with and learned from them. So what I'm sharing with you is a lot of times people look at the barriers all the time, and the barriers that they see are the ones that they create themselves. Think of some sort of an organization. I mean, I could sit here for 2 hours going through this, but it's not going to do any good. What is your passion? Maybe it's quilting. Maybe you're a beer brewer. Maybe you like to try to experiment and brew your own beer. That's like a new popular thing. It got breweries popping all over the place. I just wish there would one pop up next door to my house. But I could go to the brewery, drink enough, and only have to walk them, not drive them. Just kidding. I don't hardly drink beer. But no, start getting creative. Quit sitting on the nail. Find out what's passionate for you and figure out how to expand that so you can get into an organization. I recently joined a writers group here in Houston and met some very, very unique people. This one's squawking about they just got out of surgery. This one's got back problems. This one got, so I'm just sitting here building rapport with a bunch of professional authors. And I also met somebody who's very high up in the Writers Guild that wants me to come start doing lectures for her organization. So, but if I wouldn't have put myself in that room with these people, guess what? I wouldn't have heard any of the conversations. I wouldn't have heard of the 4 or 5 people that are in there that have health issues. Now, has Keone come up with them? No. It may not come up for another 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. But the seeds are planted, okay? So stop fishing in the drainage ditch because you're not going to catch nothing. You're going to get a lot of mosquito bites, but you ain't going to catch no fish. You want to start looking, fishing. See, look, let me see the riffles right there. That was a fish that just jumped. I don't know if y'all saw it or not. It's like that gorilla. That's right. See, that is a perfect ecosystem. You got weeds, you got timber, you got grass on there. That's a better pond. That's why I'm telling you, open your eyes. There are much better ponds for you to go and fish in. So you don't fish in there either. You probably won't catch nothing in there either. But see right there? Ooh, we got lily pads, we got some rocks, we got all kinds of good fish habitat. See, to me, that's paradise. I see that and I say, I bet I can catch something out there. Give me a beer and an That's it from me. I appreciate y'all's time. Hoping you kind of take things a little bit different viewpoint here, because truly in this business, your only limiting factor is you. If you're not growing, it's not the system, it's not Casey's fault, it's not the plan on the page, not the Jade, it ain't nothing but who you look at every morning in the mirror when you wake up. Drop the attitudes, drop the egos. If that's what's keeping you down, open your mind up and keep on moving. On that, I'm out of here. Mr. Casey Salge.